Hi, welcome to SPR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. It's the Friday before the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. We are talking with Chris Andrews from AgainstTheNumber.com, and he has requested the Carolina-Seattle game to discuss with us. Very interesting that he chose this game. This is probably the most highly debated game out of all of the four divisional round playoff games, Chris. And I just got off the phone with Brent from BetDSI, who told me that he had notable sharp action on both sides of the spread here. Took sharp action on both Carolina and on Seattle. Of course, it feels like the public is leaning towards Carolina. The line has gotten bet down. Right now, it's -1.5 or 2. Chris Andrews, what do you like here?
Well, first of all, I have heard a lot of wise guys that are on Seattle, and I have a lot of respect for them, but also think they happen to be wrong in this case. I think a lot of them are looking at Seattle as being the same team that has gone to 2 straight Super Bowls, won one a couple back. Defensively, I think they're very similar. Offensively, I think they're very much different. That offense was keyed around Marshawn Lynch. I know he's supposed to be back this week, but I have big question marks as to whether he's going to be back as the guy we saw for the last 4 years or back as the guy we saw at the beginning of this year. This year, he averaged 0.8 yards per carry. I think it was certainly a step slow. You see it all the time with these running backs. They hit a wall about this age, and they just don't recover. They'll be using Christian Michael a lot as their main running back, and I think that puts a lot of pressure on Russell Wilson. Listen, the kid's been great. There's no doubt about it. But really, you look at Carolina, they have been extremely efficient. That's one thing I try to judge in my handicap football. Their points per possession is the highest in the league. Their yards per point ratio is also highest in the league. They're just a very efficient team. And when they run the ball, you have to take care of Cam Newton as an additional running back. They average almost 140 yards a game running the ball. That's much better than Seattle's done all year. And, of course, Rawls was the main running back for Seattle. He's completely gone. He's out of the picture. So I think there's a huge drop-off at running back for Seattle. I think right now you're looking at Carolina, and I know they've had some injuries, but I think they come in relatively healthy. Nobody's going to be perfectly healthy at this time of the year. Home field advantage. I think that's enough. Carolina carries the day. They're just a better team right now.
Yeah, Chris, look, that was how I was feeling when the number first came out. I picked it when it was at -2.5. Again, now it's -1.5 or 2. And again, according to Brent from BetDSI, there's been sharp action on both sides of the spread. Let me just ask you about the opening line. Did it strike you as a little bit low? Were you a little bit surprised by where the line opened, or did it make sense to you that it was like 2.5, 3 earlier in the week?
I thought it needed to be at least 3 myself. I thought it should be 3 with a little juice on the home team. Like I said, I really feel Carolina is just the better team. Then you add in the home field advantage. I thought it should have been 3 with a little juice on the favorite myself.
All right, but suffice to say, you didn't think that it seemed suspiciously low, which would make you think that your read on the game was off.
No, I know Seattle gets a lot of respect from the wise guys. It's well deserved. They've been one of the best teams in the league, certainly for the last 2 years, and they had a little bit of a dry spell this year, but they're coming in pretty good shape, I would say, even throwing out last week's game where they just look fair. But I know they get a lot of respect from wise guys, and the price did not surprise me that much, even though I thought I was wrong.
All right, awesome analysis. As always, Chris Andrews from AgainstTheNumber.com. Right now, the market-wide line is 1.5 or 2. Chris Andrews liking Carolina -1.5. Thanks so much, Chris.